is a very special time. Show me a hill I can climb. Give me a mountain to move, and I'll prove that it's a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. Up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed.
No climbing back in bed today. It is a wonderful Wednesday. That means my partner in crime, my host this morning, is Bradley Gilbert from Walmart. Good morning, Bradley.
Good morning, Becky.
Yay.
Yay.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. First time been together in 2025.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Boy, we had a lot of change since this new year.
A lot of change. Yes, absolutely.
All right. We do have, by education, we do have our own Keith Nance with us by phone. Good morning, Keithy.
Good morning, all.
Yes. All right, let's thank our sponsors this morning, Bradley.
All right, we've got Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rosa's, Fox Blue Wealth Management, Dr. Blackside Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, and McAllister Land Consulting.
All right, and let's see what today is real quick, and finding out what today is. We know, I do want to say the food bank is open today, so for anybody that needs some groceries with the food bank is open. We're on to the 8th day of January. Today is Argyle Day. Argyle.
Okay.
I got some Argyle socks.
I do too.
Yeah, boy, that's kind of a thing from the past. Keith, do you have some?
I do have Argyle socks. I don't have an Argyle sweater.
Need an Argyle sweater vest.
I am so sad. Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, we'll have to work on getting you one for the year.
Actually, we got to have an Argyle tie as well.
Ooh, I love that hat. Yeah. Now that's sporting for sure. All right, Bubble Bath Day. I'm all about it. All about it.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and when you get real quick, a tip about the bubble bath: don't skimp. Mr. Bubbles, I'm sorry, he brings it every time.
Okay.
Go back to the OG Mr. Bubbles right there. I know exactly what aisle it's on there at Walmart, and get that for a big bubble bath. You can also get the other scents too. Calgon, Take Me Away. You can add all that, but for your true bubbles, Mr. Bubble.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Bubble Bath Day. Keith, do you take bubble baths?
I can't remember the last time I've taken a bath.
Okay.
Showers. When you get to a certain age as a man, I think it's all showers.
Okay. What about you, Brad? No baths?
No.
I'm sad for you two.
No.
You two just don't know. You're not doing it right. Okay, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Earth Rotation Day. Ooh, I felt that.
Okay.
I'm glad there's an Earth Rotation Day every day.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's true.
We'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yes. National Career Coach Day. Don't you feel like as a superintendent, kind of like your career coach, like trying to get everyone to in a career? And Brad, I'm sure over at Walmart, your career coach, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's every day. Yes.
Yeah. National.
I consider myself a part of the career coaching team, but that's probably our counselors.
Yeah.
They're the heavy lifters on that.
Well, and it's so difficult, because when you're that age, like, there's so many different things, so many different directions, and I always say, so many different doors to open, and like so many, and you're trying to figure out what, I guess, fits you best. Mm-hmm. And then we all know, like, all three of us right here never dreamed that we were going to be exactly where we're at today, and so it's hard to say. If you go back to the 17, 18-year-old, or even 16-year-old us, would we have known that this was going to be where we were ending up today?
Probably not.
No.
No.
All right.
I was in hopes, but I didn't know. Anyway, Career Coach Day. National English Toffee Day. Keith, you like English toffee?
It's all right. I'd eat it if it was the only thing available.
Okay, what about you, Brian?
I like it as a cappuccino flavor.
Ooh, all right, love that. This is also National Man Watchers Day. Watchers Day. Okay. Ooh, National Winter Skin Relief. I know. I don't know. I don't make this up. Watchers Day. Whoever's man watching out there, I'm sure there's several that are doing that. I guess. I don't know. National Winter Skin Relief Day. Keith, do you have a skin routine you're doing for the cold weather?
Yeah, I mean, not to give away too many secrets, but I like to use coconut oil.
Oh, there you go.
I don't use regular lotions. I use fractionated coconut oil.
Well, that's
For
really
my wife's advice.
I love that. Now that's really good. I'm impressed with that, Keith. I'm happy to hear that. What about you, Brad?
I use coconut oil as well, and that started just because during the summertime it's the best thing, when you're out in the sun, the pool, and all that. So
yeah.
I stick with that. But I also there's a a candle and lotion store that's really popular, and they have a men's version of one that's called Ocean. So it's really good too.
And you know what's funny is me and my daughters, we love the men, and we're attracted to that. You know what I mean? And we were figuring out why we love those lotion smells so much, because we like the smell.
Yes,
of course.
And funny thing, it was funny to me. I went to a Walmart regional meeting, and I was talking to some lady, and she's like, I hate to ask, but she's like, what kind of cologne or lotion do you have? I told her what it was. It's just a lotion, and she goes, well, that's funny. She goes, I have on the same thing, and it was just funny.
I love
and then
that.
she went into the story about how she and her daughter, they love the men's stuff.
Well,
so.
because we're attracted to that, right? No,
Yeah.
I mean, we figured it out.
Yeah.
We don't, and I don't actually necessarily, no offense, but I don't necessarily use it as much, but we're attracted to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's funny.
Well, that's like the Old Spice commercials.
Well,
the lady does the lavender stuff. It's for men and everything. So anyway,
yeah,
we went down a rabbit hole, Keith. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, definitely you need to be taking care of your winter skin, and it sounds like you
Yes.
two are doing that.
Yes.
Okay. Especially after you get out of the bubble bath. Okay.
Yeah.
Out of the shower.
Out of the shower. Okay. All right. Show and tell at work day. Show and tell at work day. What would you show and tell, Keith? It's Wednesday. You're live on the radio. What would be your show and tell?
If I had to bring something to school, it might be a pet.
Oh.
Show off your pet, something that you don't normally share with your coworkers.
What pet would you bring?
We got 3 dogs, and 2 of them are little chihuahuas, and they're good dogs. But I'd probably bring Ollie. He's my favorite. He's a bird dog. So.
Ooh. Yeah. Now I think Ollie would probably steal the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Although, I hope the other ones didn't hear you say that he's your favorite, but yeah.
They favor their mom anyway.
Oh, there you go. That works out well. What about you, Brad? What would you be bringing?
As an HR guy, I would discourage that. I would probably have to say, but Max would always be a hit.
Oh yeah, Max would steal the show. Those two, the two together.
He would.
Yeah.
He is trying to assure me that he is my mental health dog, but
I love that.
at home, yeah. But no, Max, he's pretty cool.
I love that.
He would try to herd everybody around the store, though.
Yeah, he'd be herding. I would bring Zeus, the Great Dane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody. I'm sorry. Yeah. He would be. He would love that.
Yes.
If they rubbed him and did his scratches on his back. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't leave. Yeah. So that'd be fun. We'd all 3 bring our dogs.
Yeah.
So Ollie, Max, and Zeus. They would be those 3. I'm sure they'd get along.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
All right. So show and tell at work day. War on Poverty Day. Well, we hope that
should be every day.
Absolutely, and hopefully in 2025, hopefully, you never know. Yeah. And World Typing Day. Do you do much typing, Keith?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What about you, Brad?
Yeah, I yeah. A lot.
Yeah. we got to write this up, paperwork.
Yeah.
It's nothing's done until the paperwork, right?
Yeah.
It's all done.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that before.
Yes.
Heard that before. All right, onward ho we go. All right, we thanked our sponsors, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, Keith, let's jump in. School, so is this the longest extended Christmas vacation you've had?
Yeah, I was commiserating the other day. I said, man, this would have been a welcome relief come some of those long days in February. And I guess we still got days to come. But coming right off the break, having more days like this, especially consecutively, it's kind of frustrating. We're all ready to get back to school.
Yeah. I get that. Everybody's chomping at the bit. Everybody's ready to, and it's even when I hear the school children talk about how they're missing school. I love that so much that they really love school, and I love that they're wanting to get back into the routine, and I think that's ready. Everybody's probably chomping at the bit for that. But let's talk about out there, because our county, you're to the west of our county, and we have so many county roads out that way. Some of these roads have been really still pretty bad.
Yeah, it's been difficult for our crews. I know that our Washington County road department crews.
Sure.
They've been out working hard, and they've made a huge dent in it. And definitely some of our main thoroughfares, like School Road, main artery into the school, and are in great shape. Once you get to some of those ancillary roads off of, they get a little harder to navigate. Many of them are just one lane wide. They're clear enough to navigate in a personal vehicle, but when I was driving yesterday afternoon, the biggest issue really today is the ability to get a bus down the road and another vehicle if you come across some oncoming traffic. Because we really were hoping to get back today on a 2-hour delay, and we were really evaluating the roads all the way up until late afternoon. But ultimately, you got to do it safe, and you can't put kids in jeopardy or staff members in jeopardy. So we have another snow day, and hopefully we can get back as soon as possible.
Well, I think that was best, and I think you bring up some good points, because if you are on the road and the roads, and again, a shout out to our, I talked to some of our city and county and state, guys and gals. I've talked to them, and people have not been real nice. So I really want to stress, let's all be kind, and they're doing a fantastic job. They've got a lot to keep up with. They got a lot going on. But when you do hit some of these county roads, there's really not a lot of room for a wiggle room, and especially whenever you meet a big truck, and then you're in a truck or something, and you can't go over, or let's say a school bus and a truck, you can't go over too much, or you're going to be out in the ditch, and then the person, trying to maneuver around each other. You bring up really good points on that. And of course, you're talking about a school bus that, that could possibly slide off, and we don't want that to happen. And, so I think you did the right decision, and I think, I just want to say we need to shoot out some huge positives to our crews out there doing what they're doing, and to the superintendents of our county, all three of you guys, making good decisions.
Yeah. I think that, sometimes it's easy to criticize what someone else is doing without sitting, in this case, in the driver's seat. I know that I stopped and talked to at least 3 or 4 drivers yesterday when I saw them out, and they put in a ton of hours.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone recognizes this, but on Tuesday the conditions were bad enough that every single one of our county's trucks got stuck at least once, except for one. I did run into Terry Bennett, who does my district out here, and said I was the only one that didn't get stuck yesterday. He was proud of that, but if those vehicles that are loaded down with material are having trouble, then that just kind of really describes the conditions. They'll have to have wreckers pull them out, neighbors with tractors pull them out, and all in an effort to help us get to the necessities that we need. And so to kind of throw shame on them it's just kind of sad because they're out there working hard for us, and they're out there working hard to make sure we can get to where we need to get to. I mean, a lot of people have medical needs or medication needs or, just getting to Walmart to pick up the necessities. And if it weren't for these guys and our county services, we wouldn't be able to do it.
Well, and I think, that we've brought up, this week we've talked with our sheriff from the county, of course. We've also talked with our mayor, city, and all around the different, and, some of these drivers have not, or dispatchers and everybody involved, even our emergency, personnel, have not even been to bed. I mean, and I think I just want to give them praise, and I feel like we just need to lift them up and thank them for the hard work they've been doing and the job they're doing. And when you talk about Terry, he's a cowboy. He just goes full throttle, I'm sure, and it goes right on through. So, but that doesn't surprise me on him getting it. But I do think that, I'm glad you brought up that point that some of these trucks, they slide too, and that they can, get stuck as well. So I think that brings up, to reality of how slick it's been. And of course we know that the way it's come down from the ice to the freezing ice to the wind chill to the cold to the snow. I mean, you put all that, you've got a winter mix that's like very dangerous to be out on.
Yeah, I mean, this storm had a name. I didn't even know they named winter storms.
Yes, I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, I do know.
Bad.
What's his name? I can't remember.
I think it was Blair, and the only reason I know that is because it was my least favorite character on The Facts of Life.
Oh. You are not a Blair fan?
Yeah.
No, she's a brat.
You like Tootie, right?
Yeah.
She was great.
She was great, yeah.
But I think, Keith, what you and Becky are talking about is very important. We are still out here days later, and people are like, well, the roads are still slick and everything, but we take for granted sometimes, not trying to, but we take for granted that, when these guys, these folks get out in the truck the first time, think how dangerous it is when they're first starting to work on the roads and things, and so we just need to be patient. But I was actually talking to my mom this morning, and we were talking about how, out and about, get out, but overall how good the roads are compared to you don't get to practice for this all the time. We don't live in Michigan and northern Indiana and all that, and it's been how many years since we've had this significant snows and ice on top of it and everything. So for what we were dealt with, I think hats off to them. They did an amazing job, and they continue to do that. So
yeah, and I think the rationale they used to wait to get started on Monday was smart, because had they worked through the snow and cleared it, what would have been on the surface of the road would have been the ice and sleet. With the snow, we were fortunate the snow came first, and then on top of that was ice and sleet, because it allowed them to actually get the blade to the road surface.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've done a lot in 48 hours. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I talked to someone from the county highway, and they were talking about that too. It's just like you're better off just working some of the bulk snow as it first comes. Then when that ice, don't have it all the way down to the pavement, and then have that space that ice lands on top of the snow, and then you can plow all of that off there, and because you could actually make the road surface worse. So those guys know what they're doing, so we need to trust the process.
I agree. Well, I'm glad we got to give them praise this morning. But let's talk about, so for West Washington, of course, this is a snow day.
Yeah, so we kind of got caught in an unfortunate situation. Basically, for the health of our devices and to make sure that nothing happens to them as it breaks, most times we will collect our devices from our students, maybe use that time also for a little maintenance of them. So we kind of got stuck with our kids being at home without their Chromebooks from school. And, we talked about a lot of different ways to handle that. We do have built-in snow days already in our calendar to make them up. So we do have those 2 days. So on Monday and Tuesday, it's a pretty easy decision. to just take and let's make it a snow day. And we got a bunch of pictures from kids and families playing and enjoying the snow. It was really heartwarming. But yeah, we knew that for us, being out here, not real centrally located, you know, our corporation runs 5 townships, primarily north and south, and a lot of people are exceptionally close to the school or conveniently located to the school, and they depend on our bus transportation. So we discussed having people or parents come to pick up Chromebooks and devices last week when they started predicting snow. So we knew that we would not get them all in the hands of all of our students just based off of some of the logistical issues we have. And, you know, if we're going to have a virtual day, we want all of our kids to have the opportunity to participate. You know, we want to have as close to 100% participation as possible. And we just knew that we would never get to that point. We'd never get all of them handed out, no matter what effort was laid. And then we would be setting some kids up for failure and not being able to participate. So we rolled it, and you know, it's one of those situations where you can question that decision. We questioned it ourselves back and forth multiple times, but ultimately we landed on, hey, let's just, we want to see our kids before we have that first virtual day too, because, you know, you have to explain to them and review the procedures, and we didn't have that opportunity coming right off the break. So this is the way we handled it, and certainly there are people potentially questioning that, and that's okay, because like I said, we questioned it a lot too. We just went what we thought was the best, and we'll manage through these makeup days at some point.
Right. Well, I think that's something, you know, when you're in the leadership and you make the decision, I always say there's a method to the madness. There's a reason, and I always we talked about this even when it was sunshine outside. Remember, Keith, we talked about whenever we start getting into this weather, please, you know, have grace and realize that the people that are making these decisions, you know, the other morning, you know, or the other night, you and I talked, Keith, and you were out driving the roads. I mean, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, from you talking to the officials, talking to the road crews, talking to the, you know, to the maybe the folks, the community, to find out. So there's a lot. It's not just a quick knee-jerk decision. I mean, there's a lot of thought and prep work that goes in on this. So I always just feel like we need to respect that, and I think it well played, and I think that it's still, I personally, you know, on my own personal, feel like, you know, for the school buses, it wouldn't have been fair to anybody to try to make some of those hills and some of those turns and some of those roads that don't even get much sunshine, you know. And again, our county has got, I think the 7th in the state of the largest county as far as roads. So I mean, that speaks volumes. I mean, we have a lot of roads. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. And all 3 corporations have plenty of rural county. You know, you think that. You know, you say Salem, you think of the city of Salem, but railroads are just like ours. Once you get north and east of Salem, it's up and down hills, tight corners.
Wheeler Holler.
A lot of wooded areas that, like you said, don't see a lot of sunshine.
Moreau and Gibson townships.
We're all fighting the same battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The state of Gibson, I have to say.
State of Gibson.
State of Gibson. Yeah, no, all of them. You know, I mean, so I think that's, So we kind of, you know, just going back over that for maybe the kind of explaining. But as far as like the school, I guess, has any of your custodians been able to make it in, I guess, or what has been going on there in all this?
Yeah, we had some staff report on Monday. I was there. A few of my office staff were there. And then our portions of our maintenance crew, Chris, Jill, Aaron Davis, Zach Benham, and Aaron Dennis, who's our school resource officer, have all been working Monday and Tuesday to clear our parking lots. And our campus is in pretty good shape, considering the amount of snow that we had. I think the biggest problem we had is actually, as we push the snow in a parking lot, you know, you're not pushing linear like on a road where it goes off to the side. The piles of snow, we're going to be looking at those piles of snow for a couple of months, I think.
Walmart.
It's supposed to. Yeah. Join the club, Keith. I understand that.
Tell Brad more about that. They're over there. You ought to see the mounds. I really wanted to attack. I
Yeah.
know we're not supposed to, but I really wanted to
Yeah.
tackle that hill. I
Yeah.
felt like, Mount Everest here.
Yeah.
They've got some high.
And we're supposed to have cold temperatures. It may be another 10 days or so before we get above freezing to where it's, enough above to start doing some good melting. And so to transition into that, so tomorrow morning is supposed to be the coldest morning of the week. So what are your thoughts on that? Putting you on the spot.
I mean, we definitely have thresholds for temperature, and that's going to be impacted more by the conditions of the road because, sometimes you'll choose to use a delay. I think things would get up above 0. I think it's supposed to get to around 9 degrees around 9 a.m., and that's about the time we'll be picking kids up on a delay. And at that temperature, we normally come to school on a regular schedule. You ask people to dress warm. Our bus drivers are patient about kids coming from the home instead of being right out there at the stop sometimes. But you got to take it more heavily into consideration when there's a compounding concern of the road condition. Because you're likely to be waiting to stop longer, or if the bus were to stall, or to slide into a spot where it couldn't get out, people would be sitting in those elements for a longer period of time. It's a part of the consideration for sure. If there was no snow on the ground, we would be considering a potential delay. But the good thing about temperature is it's really pretty black and white. I have the chart that I have to buy for wind chill. I have a chart that I go by for raw temperature, and those numbers they're a lot more easily predicted. So less subjectivity, so it's easier to make that decision.
Well, and I think also to remind everybody, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, and I've got a fast horse, so if I have to get out of here quickly, but we are supposed to get more snow on Friday. Remember, just reminding you, this is not going to play out too well, on some of this. But I have a question on some of the bus routes where the bus drivers have maybe a little degree of difficulty stopping. Are you asking some of the parents to meet them at a central location, or is that something that's doable? Or how is it?
I mean, it's doable in Campbellsburg, but it's difficult. There aren't many businesses out in the rural areas to where we could park a bus and they come to. So that's kind of hard. The ones that are most difficult at this point, we have some buses that have turnarounds.
Yeah.
Because you got a road that goes north and south, and you got to get to your next stop that's on the east and west, and there's no way to really circle around. But if you've driven around and you looked at a lot of people's driveways, what you have is about 2 feet of snow piled up in the front of the driveway if we haven't done anything to work that driveway.
Welcome to WSA.
And then what our buses typically do is pull forward into a 3-point turn, pull forward and back into the driveway, and then turn around. That's how a bus turnaround operates.
Yeah.
And at least 2/3 of our route has bus turnarounds on them.
Yeah.
So that makes it very difficult. If they can't back into that driveway, then what do they do from there? And then the visibility in driveways is some kind of difficult as well to see where the edges of the driveway are. A lot of them would have culverts. And so it just makes their job that much harder.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's good to, and I think, shout out to our bus drivers, because, that's what I was trying to, I guess, the turnarounds, I couldn't think of the word, but I'm trying to use my words over here. But the turnaround, that's what I was thinking, degree of difficulties, if there was any way of, maybe if some of the, if it does come to that, if there was some, areas that might be a little easier to meet or whatever, or something, but because I'm thinking reverse and trying to go forward in a bus. I mean, and like you said, if you couldn't see your visibility, that's.
Yeah, what we plan on doing today is taking a look at some of those turnarounds, and we've gotten to the point where we've caught up on our ground, where we can take our own equipment to those turnarounds and help to clear those driveways that we need to utilize.
Well, I can volunteer Brad. Brad loves to shovel, so, you know,
Well,
I can volunteer Brad to come out.
we have the best piece of equipment, and I gotta thank our county highway department for this. We did an intergovernmental purchase from them. They were taking one of their plow trucks off of the line, and because we're both government entities, we didn't have to do a bidding process. We could work out a price together, and we purchased one of the tri-axle plow trucks from them, and we've had it for 4 or 5 years. We don't put the miles on them like they do, right? We're just doing our parking lot.
Sure.
But we would have never been able to do what we did yesterday and the day before without that vehicle.
Yeah, that's a blessing. Yeah, that's well played. Good job on that. Well, you know, it's just a lot to keep up with, and of course, you know, the cold temperatures like Brad's talking about, and then of course more snow coming in. So definitely, you know, a lot of degree of difficulties there.
As bad as the situation has been, I've tried to keep my mind in the frame of gratitude, because it could have been much worse. If we had had the ice, you know, if the storm would have shifted just a little more to the north, we could have people still out of electricity today. These cold temperatures coming. It's been cold enough the last few days, but I can only imagine if we were suffering massive power outages. We'd have major issues at school. We talk about sprinkler heads bursting and just a variety of problems that we haven't had. As I sat here in the comfort of a warm office, you know, thank goodness that we didn't have the ice pile up on our power lines and our tree limbs and end up having massive power outages.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it too. I'm thankful for all this cold, trying to look at it from a positive perspective, and the continued cold weather we're going to have, because I'm really going to be thankful this summer when we're outside having a family get-together or whatever, and this cold snap has brought the amount of bugs and stuff down. So that will be, we haven't had it for a while, so that's good. So we're going to be positive about that.
Well, and my positive, since my positive praise here is I think, you know, such a blessing that the National Weather Service was spot on. And I know Keith, you jump in on those calls. I know I've been on those calls, and I think the preparedness that everybody, you know, did have was such a blessing. You know, we saw so many of our community members out getting prepared and knowing. And you roll back years ago, because I've been in this for many years. You never used to know this stuff. You know, it was like, and now, I mean, everybody, you know, did get as much prepared as they could. Yeah. And I think hats off to that for them giving us a notice, you know, a few days before. So there's my praise.
There you go.
Definitely. Well, Keith, we'll just keep talking and let us know, you know, whatever, you know, you decide. Right, as of right now, you're looking at a 2-hour delay tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're considering. Obviously, that's subject to change, just like yesterday was, or just like today was, and Tuesday. And then, you know, there's various thoughts about that, too. I just like to get the information out there that we're 100% going to be on a delay, but it could be more than that, because no parents and people have to plan. Another thing I want to make sure, and we communicate this all the time, we want to be in school. These decisions are not taken lightly. No one's like, and I'm sure it does go through someone's mind, oh, I got to go to school, I got to go to work and be at Walmart or Kimball or wherever. Those teachers are just, you know, they're just happy to be out of school. That's not the case. We very much take our job seriously. We want our kids there. We understand what our job is, and the service that we provide to our families. And we take it seriously, and we want to be there. So we're not taking these decisions lightly. But you're also dealing with children, and children, in our case, we have preschoolers that are 3 years old, you know, all the way up to the young drivers, and it would someone's life were put in jeopardy, rather than being safe and doing the safe thing.
I agree. Yeah, well said.
Absolutely.
Well, Keith, listen, keep up the great work. Keep us informed and keep doing what you're doing. Stay safe, your whole crew and everybody, and we'll just see what develops today, and then what develops tomorrow too, and just we'll just take it one day at a time.
Yeah, we sure will.
All right, keep up the great work, Superintendent at West Washington School Corporation, Keith Nance. Thanks again, and stay safe, hon. Okay.
All right, thank you. You too.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
All right, very good. Checking in with him, and that brings up some good points. And I think it's always good to remind everybody.
Yes, yeah, and there at the end, he made an excellent point about there's this idea of they want to be at school. They want to be at school.
Absolutely.
They but there's and I do like the idea of to getting out there about the new drivers, young drivers, things like that, because that's what we did during this snowstorm.
Okay.
We told all of our minors, don't come to work. Don't come to work. They're inexperienced at Walmart, and we did that. Most of the places in southern Indiana did that, and I think that's things to think about. But this whole thing where they want to be at school, and I think there's a lot of kids that want to be at school too.
Oh, I've heard a lot, that are, but this is part of it, and we've not done this in a while, so.
I'm always going to err on the side of, if they're on the side of caution and making sure that, they're taking great care of the kids, just even getting them there and everything, the armchair quarterbacks need to just kind of be quiet about it and let the professionals do it.
Right. Well, and I think, when you're driving on this and you start to slide, or you feel, you know Bergen well.
Yep.
I mean, maybe you do have control of your vehicle,
Yep.
but you go back to like a school bus driver and you think about, first of all, I mean, how stressful that would be, to have that many you're, accountable for.
Right.
And then when when your degree of difficulties is, your visibility, what can you see, and trying to back up, and, I think that I just think it's good to bring that to the forefront to show, what all's involved with that.
Well, and too, it's a good point about not just with the school bus. Like yesterday when I was coming home, I was on a county road that had been, treated and worked on and everything, but I have a full-size truck. I met someone in a full-size truck, and we both were kind of off the side, like where it hadn't been plowed.
Right.
And it was deeper and stuff, and just because of the size of the vehicles. And it's not that they hadn't, done anything with the roads. It's just there are roads out there that two full-size vehicles don't want to meet, let alone a bus and a full-size vehicle or even a small vehicle.
Right.
So.
Well,
just be patient with everybody.
And four-wheel drive does not work on ice. I mean,
Nothing works on ice.
Slide.
Might as well forget it.
Slide to the left. You start doing the cha-cha slide.
Absolutely.
Slide to the right.
Just,
three
enjoy
hops
the ride,
now. 3 hops. That's when you get out of your vehicle. 3 hops now.
Don't get too stressed about it. Just enjoy the ride, and where you end up is where you end up.
Crisscross. Everybody clap your hands. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, so please be careful out there. If you don't have to get out, do not. They have lifted, they had the band of no traveling. They have, now if you travel, be very, very cautious. Make sure that your destination is open.
Yeah.
Make sure that where you're going, and.
Yeah, the only county down here now that still is Pike County is still in red, but I think that's what I looked on the thing. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but even so, just be careful. Give yourself extra time if you have to get out. Make sure, but and again, I mentioned talking to Mom this morning, and she was talking about, if you don't have to get out, it's don't get out.
Yeah.
It's kind of simple. So.
Right.
And I think that you mentioned how we have better warning and stuff like that. Beginning last Wednesday, we had people coming in, getting prepared for the storm.
And I love that.
A lot of people are eating French toast and cereal, for the thing, but that's good. It's just okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have noticed, so you can get prepared and stuff like that. So there's really, once you're prepared, just unless you have to, just.
It amazes me because because I've been at this for many years here, and I would love for my parents to have seen how, like, because years ago we didn't have this. You just kind of I mean, you might have had a little bit, like maybe a little warning, maybe an hour or two before. You know what I mean? Not really nothing like now. And
like 78.
Yeah, exactly. Such a blessing now.
And what was it, 98 or 96, 97, 98,
had
the
that-
one that shut down Louisville?
Yeah.
You know, there, even back then, I
Yeah.
mean, there was, you know, what, 26, 27 years ago,
Yeah.
there's still, the technology
Right.
wasn't where it is now.
I can't say enough. I mean, I wish they would see this. I think they would just be over the moon at how much preparedness.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, with the being on the calls and listening to them talking about, you know, they were really throwing out a lot of, you know, different things that that could be. But here's what I thought in all of that. If for some reason, if it did miss us, we still are prepared.
Yeah.
But I do want to say they were spot on. I mean, they really, I mean, you got it right. You know what I mean? They were like, and to give us that much warning in advance, what a blessing. And we know that, I mean, your parking lot over at Walmart was just packed. It was almost hilarious because I like, you know, because I'm your nosy neighbor, and I was just like, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? It was crazy, which is good.
Yeah.
Because people had that where they could get prepared if they will, you know what I mean? Make sure they have extra, and, you know, we know that when kids are home, they're going to eat.
Yeah.
When people are home, they're going to eat.
Yes.
Everybody's home, they're going to eat.
Yes.
So, and, you know, and
nothing else to do, right? Yeah.
And everything else.
Or take down the Christmas decorations.
I saw, so that we don't have, I saw this, now I don't mean this off color, but I saw this the other day where it says, so that we don't have a baby boom.
Oh.
Would everybody please start, you know, using board games, start
Yes.
getting out, getting outside, sledding, doing everything.
Yeah,
Keeping themselves very busy.
Yeah, I saw something that, about that too. And then I did see one that's like, well, you know, Snowmageddon's a good chance to get your Christmas decorations taken down.
There
and,
you go.
You know, ready to go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So if you do, if there is in 9 months, if we do have if we're blessed with abundance of new community members, you know, maybe Blair would be one of their names, you know.
Yeah.
Just throwing out suggestions. Becky and Brad.
A present from Snowmageddon.
Welcome, Blair.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get off that.
Yeah.
Okay, we did have the state of emergency was lifted. We are now under a travel watch, which means just travel with caution. And so if you do get out, be careful. But if you don't have to and you don't want to or whatever the situation, just, you know, stay home and enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, as always, WSLM is the place to get your information. You've been keeping everybody. You do a great job, and I'm as a community member, I'm appreciative, and so it's always good. And one thing that you've already put on there too that affected me and affected a lot of people, that we were, you know, you've been keeping up with states of emergency and all of that, but you know, the county government, the county council meeting has been rescheduled for next Monday.
Yeah.
And first one of the year, and the commissioners meeting has been rescheduled for Tuesday. So, that's some good things to where, and you always provide the coverage for those and everything. But I think the folks in the county who have been the commissioners have been doing a really good job of making sure everything is taken care of, and they're making sure that the state of emergencies are going the way they're supposed to, and all of that. And so, you know, appreciative for all of the folks involved. And again, another shout out to our county highway employees who've just been rock stars.
Absolutely. City, county, and state, you guys have been fantastic.
The city too.
City's
absolutely.
been doing great.
And the mayor's been on with you, and you've had all the people. So just make sure that if you have any questions, but reach out.
Yes.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with reaching out. They'll answer questions as need be.
Well, if you feel like there's, you know, like I think you got to remember there's a lot more roads than there are, you know, than the crew out. So if you feel like there's a road that needs attention, you know, you don't have to, you know, just call and just say, hey, just want to bring this to your attention that this road needs a little bit more, you know what I mean? So maybe more, whatever that salt mixture, whatever they're putting down, or that mixture.
And they will definitely respond to that.
I know, and they're so good about that. Yeah. And I think that's...
And I think one thing that we are lucky about too, and this is another thing that we can think about being prepared, and you're talking about the weather and everything, we did not, you know, Keith had mentioned the icing wasn't as bad as some other places. Not only power failures, but, there would have been trees down and limbs down and things like
Very
that. So
blessed.
that's extra work there too for folks, city and county and state to do. So, we dodged a bullet with that too.
We did. Yeah.
But just, I did have someone reach out to me, and they had trouble with a mailbox that had gotten some snow
Yeah.
damage to it, and they just didn't, know what to do. I had them reach out to the proper authority that was taking care of that, and they did reach out about an hour later and said, hey, they've got back with me, and just as soon as it's possible that they're going to take care of that. So,
Yeah.
and within 24 hours it was taken care of. So just reach out, and like you said, if there's a road, just, hey, maybe, because they're working diligently.
Absolutely.
And they'll take
Yeah.
good care of us.
Right. And I think, don't jump on social media. Call them.
No.
You know what I mean? Talk
Yes.
to them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And just
Yes.
because something they might not have been aware of,
Yeah.
And I think that's only courtesy there. All right, Brad, we're going to switch gears just for a second because 'tis the season.
Mhm.
It's time, I've been off the pipe for a year. Thank you, Jesus. Girl Scout cookies are coming back. Okay. The beloved cookie flavors. They are terminating 2 of them. What 2 do you think, Girl Scout cookies, do you think that they're going to be terminating? Which, this is kind of not good, okay?
The lemon one?
Nope. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like...
I only get 2 kinds of Girl Scout cookies, so
What kind do you get?
the Samoas and Tagalongs.
Okay. So it looks like the official Girl Scout season again, and all they will be all returning. But this will be the final run for s'mores.
Okay. I've
And-
had that one, but
I don't remember what toastiers. What's a toastiers?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is. That's not been on my radar. Okay.
Yeah.
It's officially Girl Scout cookie season again. But if you're a fanatic, brace yourself because the Girl Scouts have just given 2 beloved flavors. The pink slip.
Tough.
That's
Times are
bad.
tough. Times are
They're
tough.
savage, aren't they?
They are. They smile in those little green outfits and want to buy some cookies, but they are savage.
They are. You
Yeah.
must not.
Yeah.
You're not coming back with us. The 2025 cookie lineup will feature Girl Scout s'mores and toast yays, but they have announced that their final year. This is their final year. So if you can't live without them, you better get a chest freezer stocked up. This is the first time the Girl Scouts have announced that a flavor is being discontinued ahead of time to give people one last chance. The s'mores is one introduced in 2017. Toast Yays were in 2021. I don't remember that. Okay. Here are the classics. They'll be back. Thin Mints.
Okay.
Love them.
Yep.
Samoas.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's the AKA the Caramel
Yeah.
Delights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are
The Tagalongs are right up there with it too, though.
trifles.
Those are good.
Peanut butter patties or tagalongs. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Peanut butter sandwich or do-si-dos.
Those are good.
Adventurables. I don't know what those are. Caramel chocolate chip. Lemonades, lemon ups, and the toffee tastic. I don't know some of those.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a Thin Mints are like
yeah,
but my go-tos are Tagalongs and
yeah.
Samoas.
You just can't stop. And are they not making them
And
like
this
littler containers?
Yes, they are, and less cookies. So
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
So you're
I'm
totally
I got a
justified
little-
if you eat the
got a
whole
little
thing.
frustrated right there. I'm not trying to.
We're not that much of a
Um,
pig. We're just
No, just we're explaining, not complaining.
Right.
So the thing is that it kind of makes me chuckle a little bit.
yeah.
And that they say like fill up your freezer. I mean,
I know.
have they lasted? And I'm
I
just going to speak
know,
for myself.
I know.
Have they lasted? Even if you buy
Oh,
extra,
get out.
have they lasted long enough to be
No,
put in a freezer?
No, you're gonna eat them all, and you're gonna trim your hooves. You're like a little pony. You're gonna founder. Yeah, it's just no. It's gonna.
Yeah.
Build
Yeah.
it and they will come. I mean, have them in the freezer. They're gonna come out, and especially you can't beat them whenever they're like in a freezer. Like Thin Mints, put them in a freezer or cold. Yeah.
Make a homemade blizzard out of Tagalong.
Get out of here. Who said you could talk about that?
Mm,
Oh man.
yeah.
That's just
So.
yeah.
You know,
So
but I
many good
understand
things.
this whole thing about where it causes issues. You know, Girl Scouts can be a problem with family issues because people hide them from each other in the
Oh,
family.
yes, they do.
Oh, I love
Oh,
you,
yeah.
yes, but
Yeah. Well, and
I
then
am
like
not going to tell you where my Girl Scout cookies are hidden.
well, or if somebody like tells on you like, oh, Brad just bought six boxes of this.
Oh.
Well, what? You mean to
Oh,
tell me Brad didn't not
yes.
share that with the class? People,
and
yeah,
I have one of those.
yeah. You have
I'll
to make
keep my mouth shut for 2 boxes of cookies to your 1. I get it. I get it. You know,
It's true.
it's funny though.
All right. Speaking of more food, we're going to talk about food. The NFL playoffs will offer giant. The NFL teams are adding giant-sized food items to their menu for the playoffs this month. The Arrowhead Stadium is the Kansas City Chiefs, and they'll have a touchdown toast. It's a massive brick of French toast with berry sauce and vanilla ice cream.
For the low price of $27.95.
in your little helmet that you can take home, your plastic helmet for $3.99. Added if you want to, no, $5.99. If you want the what's it called, the keepsake.
Yes, yes.
If you
Memorabilia. We need memorabilia.
If you
to
want the
take home,
Kansas
yeah.
City Chief. Wait, hang on. Can you imagine? Hold the phone. Okay, can you imagine? It's cold there, right? Can you imagine sitting there in the actual stadium, unless you're Taylor Swift and you're.
I was going to say, I feel like that Taylor Swift said, you know what, we need French toast for a football game because she sits in a suite.
Suite. I was going to say, unless you're in a suite.
And those,
yeah.
Think
Come
about
on,
something.
yeah.
You got the food at football stadiums are supposed to be not where you don't have to do a lot of arm movement because your elbows are all all over everybody.
Right, no carving.
So that's why
carve.
a burger, a dog, nachos, easy, and a drink because your drink goes right there, and
Absolutely.
you keep your elbows tucked into your sides.
Tucked
and
elbows.
eat the nachos, the dog, or the burger.
Yeah, there you go.
Popcorn.
Preach it. Absolutely. You don't want to be carving some massive French toast.
No.
Can you, okay,
And that
first
would
of all,
get cold.
well, and then let's go over. You know they're going to hand you a plastic knife. Okay,
Oh,
now, I'm
yes.
in my degree of difficulty. Let me tell you, Becky White trying to carve with a plastic knife.
Preaching to the choir.
Okay, do you know
and
how?
then you give up and just
well,
pick
it
up with your
slides.
hand.
My stupid plate slides.
And then you cut a hole in the plate, but not your food.
Right, exactly. And then it slides, and then I've got like syrup all over me. Syrup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which no, I ain't a happy camper here.
And again, you end up picking it up with your
That's
hand
right.
anyway. Thus, hot dog, hamburger, nachos, popcorn. I mean, I'm
They
serious.
need to
It's
call
simple.
us. They
It's
need
simple.
to call us.
You know, which I love, but I call that type stuff is sweet food.
Okay.
That's the food that you eat when you're up in the suites.
Right. Oh, I agree. Absolutely. Sweet food.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, okay, so if
there's
you
nothing
take,
wrong with
okay, so let's say you
But in
choose.
general population.
Oh, it's no, I'm not
We
good
don't
at that.
do
I
that.
cannot
No.
pull that off.
No.
That, I cannot make that look good where I
Make it.
carve with my little knife because
I'm-
my knife, the plate slides,
Yeah.
and then okay, so let's say that I choose not to use the knife, then I pick it up with my fork, then you tilt your head and you're trying
Yes.
to eat it. That's not.
And again, then your head is, if you're not sitting next to on this side,
Yes.
somebody you know, you got your head on their shoulder and going, hello, I'm just eating my French toast.
And you're pretty well bent over. I mean,
Yes.
like you're hunkered over,
And then,
like trying to eat this. And I don't think, to
then
me,
the
I'm not
syrup
enjoying that.
gets frozen to you.
And there's some big touchdown
And
that's happened.
again,
Somebody's over there doing a victory
outside
dance.
and out there, how do you get
It's-
the sticky syrup
it's-
off your hands,
Yes,
butter,
and
all
then,
that
yes,
stuff?
and then you have okay, good. So then you have that sticky syrup all over you and your hands, and then you have to be a nuisance again and say, "I'm sorry, excuse me," and as you get up and leave your seat.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I always, when I sit down and I'm in the middle of people, I always say, "I went to the bathroom.
Mhm.
I've got my drink." You know, what I mean,
I'm the
I
same way.
should not have to get up because
Absolutely.
people don't want that.
No.
You know what I mean? People do
No.
not want to see your back end when there's
No.
a possible back end
No.
going to make a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
sure don't want to be bent over, hunkered down, eating
Mhm.
my toast and my melting ice cream
Yes.
while I'm.
So if you're in a suite or in those areas
Yeah.
that accommodate that,
Yes,
go for it.
go for it.
Eat
But-
that Bricko.
Yes. But I'm sure that they
Stuff.
have to have they need a
But
Kansas City Chief
If
helmet.
you're not,
yeah.
you need to. And I think they
Pass
should.
on it.
I think they
Pass
should
on it.
limit sizes of drinks.
Oh,
with
oh,
your out in the
those 44
stadium,
ounces,
do
it's-
not
I'm
give a large
telling ya.
drink because
The-
no.
What comes in
No.
must
Yeah.
go out.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yes, you're totally right. If you want to make it the whole game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
no,
I know some
I
people wear diapers, you know, but
no.
not.
no. Again, enough about that. But that's sweet food, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, I got it.
I'm okay with that.
I love the hot
You
dog.
know,
Don't be
but
hating
just-
on no
oh,
hot
no,
dog.
no.
You cannot beat
No.
a good hot dog.
No,
Okay,
no,
bring
no,
it to me.
no,
Bring it
no.
on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A hot dog, a
Same thing
stadium
at the
hot
baseball
dog.
game, a
Oh,
stadium hot dog of any type, and
the
a
best.
drink. You're done. You call
You know
that's a win.
Yes, it is a win.
God
And
loves you.
that's-
Finish the day that way.
Amen to that. Exactly. You are loved. You are the chosen one. If you have
You really
yes,
are.
exactly. And they're like $10. So if you have a $10 hot dog,
You don't have to
Timbuktu.
suffer through this Bricko syrup stuff. You know, it's like, and is that supposed
All right.
to make it sound good? I want a brick,
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, yeah.
and it'll turn into a brick
It's called a
being cold
brick,
and
brick
everything.
of French toast. That's what exactly. Give me a brick.
Yeah.
Oh, Brad,
It's gonna be a
Brad, will you
brick.
go get me a brick?
So you're gonna have to gnaw on them anyway.
I know. Ain't no
Okay, all
gnawing going on. Okay, number 2 then. You could also go for the Lincoln Financial Field to watch the Philadelphia Eagles, and you'll be able to order a pretzel John. It's a big pretzel in the shape of an Eagles logo, and it comes with 3 sauces, including a green mustard.
Mm.
Somebody's calling.
Somebody's calling me. We're sorry. If that's the Kansas City Chiefs, we're not trying to offend anyone. We're just saying.
Taylor
And
Swift
if
is
that's
on the phone.
Taylor
and
Swift
she-
people, we're Swifties, okay? So we can say this with love. No, so okay, so there again,
There we go
the
again.
pretzel, when it gets too big,
Oh.
pretzels are good too.
Yes,
But you
yes.
need one sauce. So where are you going to store these 3 sauces
I
and
wonder.
not
Yeah, that's
fumble
too
them
much.
somewhere?
You're giving me, yeah.
So it's too much.
It's too much.
Simple is good at a
Simplicity.
football game. I'm
Absolutely,
telling you.
yeah. And I do, I do love a big pretzel. Okay, I am a pretzel person. I know. Somebody's wanting to be on this.
They're like, they've got to weigh in.
I know. Okay, I'm not even mad about a big pretzel. And then I think it's kind of cool that they made it like in the shape of the Eagles logo.
Yeah.
So now that's cool.
Again,
Do you want to eat it or do you want to
that's-
take photos of it?
That's
I mean,
sweet food.
there you go. But I agree, the
And
sauce
it's
is too
sweet
much
as
sauce.
in like the sweets that are, you have the room to do that.
To do that, yeah. Okay, and last but not least, the Houston Texans are offering a bigger in Texas tamale. It has the meat, chili sauce, and salsa. No way. Again.
Too much.
I could not. Okay, so the tamale has a thicker
Tamales
skin.
are good. Mhm.
Tamales
Yep.
are. Oh, we're not. Yeah, we
Yeah,
like tamales.
Very good.
But they're a thicker skin. Again, here comes that little plastic knife. Degree
Yes.
of difficulty. Putting it on my lap, trying to carve that, and then there's just no way.
Right food, right place, right time.
Wrong. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So that does sound good. Again.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Or what you do is you get this and you stand up there in that breezeway area out of everybody's way before you go to your seat and eat it up there.
There you go. That's right.
Not
yeah.
for your seat.
Oh, but see, a lot of times you're standing up, and I am not. I'm a weirdo on that. When you eat, I like sitting down and eating.
It's funny though. It's
and-
funny that you're like that because, and I'm not. This is not meant to be derogatory at all.
No, it's
but
okay.
a lot
Throw
of
it at me.
times, the moms or the planners of the food events and stuff eat standing up a lot.
And that's probably why I don't now.
Yeah.
Because I have many times sit there and eaten like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like while I'm
Yeah.
cooking because everybody
Yes.
else is eating. But no, I prefer
That's
to
good.
sit down.
That's
I
good.
like to sit
That's good.
down and I
Yeah.
want to, yes. And so, like, I see those little tables and people go there and have a hot dog and then
Yeah.
go on their way. No, I want to sit down.
I'm a not sit down eater. I'm a stand up.
You're a stand-up eater. Oh, that's. But you're also one of those that like your feet hanging out of your blanket too. You're 60 by 70. You're a 60 by 50.
Yeah.
You got to be a 60 by 90,
No,
Brad.
no.
2 feet.
No,
the
no,
bed's two. What is
no,
it? 2
no.
feet, or what is it? Their bed's too. What's the big feet are too big for their bed or whatever?
Yeah.
Hang your feet out.
Yeah.
Hang your feet out.
Yeah,
that's-
absolutely. No,
That's
I'm
just
telling
like
you.
a country
I'm telling
music
you.
song. That's
Yeah.
like a.
Yeah,
You need a 60 by 90.
No,
Don't
I got
stop.
this thing.
Don't stop.
But if you think about it, that makes sense. And the reason I said that about when people are planning stuff, like my July party,
Yeah.
I'm always walking around. That I don't sit down to eat.
Right. Well, yeah, but you're hosting a
You
party.
know,
There's a
and
difference.
so I kind of,
But-
and I think sometimes in things people get those habits. So but now at a baseball game or a football game, I am simple. The easy food,
Yeah.
I do sit down for that.
Yeah.
But
Now, if
but
I'm not-
something
yeah.
big like
Yeah.
that, I couldn't just I couldn't sit down in an area enclosed,
No.
and so I would have to probably stand up
Ah.
to give me room
Yeah.
to eat
Now,
that.
now if I'm, I'm not hosting the NFL.
Yeah.
They didn't call Becky
You're
White
not?
to host.
Come
No,
on
I know,
now.
I know. But okay, like when I do the Red Suite, because I'm kind of hosting that. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I do kind of eat and move around.
Yeah.
Like I do that.
Yeah.
But my
still.
majority, if I'm going to a game or whatever, if somebody else is hosting, somebody else is putting
Yeah.
on this party, my bottom's going to be sitting and eating. I'm a
I
sit
get
down.
that.
I like to
get
do that.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm usually talking and.
Yeah. I get it. Totally. I'm with you. You're preaching to the choir right
There
there.
you go.
You had me at
Yeah, no.
someone else
yeah,
hosting.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Hello.
Yeah. All right, we got to get out of here, Brian Gilbert. Thank you for hanging out with me. Keep up the great work over at Walmart and your team. Let's do them a big shout out over there.
Rock stars.
And
rock
Mike King has
stars.
been like big eyes and little sleep and just going strong, full throttle. That man is running on coffee and guts and.
Yeah,
and
he's finally
Hopefully-
maybe gonna be
I hope he
home
drops
today for
I
a
hope he
while,
drops
but
somewhere
he
because
just
he's been.
absolutely he just
But I
start
love
to finish.
But that's a good leader.
That's a great
good
leader.
Great
he's
leader.
a good leader.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's it's funny because you hear people, it's just like, oh, in this snowstorm I have to be here. He couldn't imagine being anywhere else than with his people in the trenches.
Absolutely.
And that is the reason that so many of us follow him and are so loyal to him because he's right there. And I went in Sunday. I was lucky enough to be off Sunday and Monday, but I worked from home Monday, and I went in Sunday for a while before the snow really started and everything. And it was just one of those things. He's like a kid at a rock
I know.
at a rock concert
absolutely.
or something. He's just like all.
Oh, he was climbing up the walls, bouncing up
like,
the walls.
Hey,
yeah.
and
absolutely.
he loves it. And,
yeah, sure does.
And it's the thing of, but he was the first one. It's just like if someone doesn't feel comfortable, he's like, we got enough of us, we'll take care of it.
I know.
And so
Love that.
he's great. So,
Absolutely. All right.
hats off to everybody over there.
For sure. All right, let's thank our sponsors.
All right, we've got Mountain View Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Lee Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, and McAllister Land Consulting.
All right, Brad, be so careful, and let's have the best day ever, right?
Right.
Okay.
To honor your loved one, you choose someone you can trust. Marshall Monuments, Southern Indiana's monument experts. In their 78 years of community service, Marshall Monuments has provided excellence and experience and continues to take pride in workmanship and guarantees satisfaction in the final product. Whether you're looking for a custom monument